Who is buying vans like this and why are they so special? In this video we're going to answer those questions, and we're also going to find out if it's worth the money. I've been driving this van for the last 6 months, and it gives me a really unique opportunity to answer the questions everyone's been asking and to relate it back to my own experience. And in full transparency, this is a PR van. It's been loaned to me by Ford MSRT. They haven't paid me or told me what to say. But before we start looking into this van in any detail, it needs to be cleaned. It's absolutely filthy. To find out what's so special about this van, we need to first understand the history of Ford MSRT. The owner wanted to create a van that was immediately recognisable with decals, spoilers and alloys. In 2015, van conversion specialist Edward Davis collaborated with M Sport, the official Ford team behind the World Rally Championships. The plan was simple: mix rally styling with a commercial vehicle. And in 2020, MSRT officially integrated with Ford. And now we have this. The Ford E-Transit Custom MSRT. It's a panel van with a very desirable sports design. This is actually how the MSRT van comes from factory. It's got the anthracite 19-inch alloy wheels. It's got a bigger body kit on it, which gives it that more aggressive stance on the road. You can see the arches have been brought out. It's got rear spoilers which actually add downforce to this van because it is actually very quick. It's got a rear splitter, it's got a front splitter, and a really wide MSRT specific grille on the front. Overall, this van is outstanding, and it comes in lots of different colours which make it a little bit more special, a little bit more stand out on the road. This one in particular is called Fast Blue, and it's definitely one of my favourite colours. As you can see, I'm always wearing a blue cap. It's safe to say that this van is super attractive, but how does it perform and what type of customer is Ford trying to attract with this? Let's dig into it a little bit more and find out. In reality, would a DIYer like me be driving around one of the most premium vans on the road? I asked myself that same question. On the surface, I'd say no, but after driving this van for 6 months, I feel like I found the answer, and it comes in the format of lifestyle. I'll get into those lifestyle elements, but it's important to note just how much of a workhorse this still is. As a DIYer, I've never had a van this size before, and the fact I could load it up with 2.4 metre lengths of timber and still have room for loads of other stuff is super useful for me. And to give you an idea of how much space and how much weight you can use in this van, I put a load of manufacturer's specs on screen so you can see it for yourself. If you're really loading this van up and using it in cold temperatures, if you're going on a long journey, make sure you plan a route past some fast chargers because those elements do impact the range. But there is something very unique and special that you get with an E-Transit like this. You get two 240 volt power outlets in the back. There's been plenty of times when I was doing handyman work for other people that I needed to use a corded tool, but I had no power on site. So having this ability does give a remote workshop sort of vibe. Very handy in a tight situation. But the fact this van is actually fast and almost too pretty to load up with dirty building materials every day does give a clue as to who's buying these vans and what they're being used for. Like super comfortable Alcantara and leather seats, Apple CarPlay, reversing cameras. It just gives a boss man vibe. So what I can tell, if you're buying a van like this, you see yourself as one of these 3 things or all of them. You're super successful, you've created a really great business that's making a good profit, and now you want a van to show that status and to turn up to meetings and impress your clients, show that you are the real deal. Second, you are in a trade that is quite clean, or whatever tools and materials you're moving around in the van are quite clean as well. You're not going to be wanting to just dirty this van up with lots of dust and oil and dirt and paint every single day. And the third one could be applicable to anybody. You might just spend a lot of time in your van and you want to be surrounded by your comforts and style and all of those nice luxury things. And the reason why I am narrowing all of this down into those 3 categories is that there's only a certain amount of people that are going to get the value from this van that is going to warrant paying the price tag. There's no doubt about it that this van is a conversation starter. I have a Porsche Macan GTS and no one ever bats an eyelid. This van, I turn up anywhere and we just start talking about it. That's the type of van that this is. It's the type of van that you might take to the gym and park it right outside the doors because you're proud to show it off. You can definitely get the missus in the van and go to a super fancy restaurant and not feel embarrassed getting out. And one of the things that I personally really love about having this van, as sad as it might sound, is that I get to do the school run in it with my son, Sydney, and he loves being in this van. He thinks it's super cool. And it's not just my son that thinks this van's cool. My partner does as well, Nicole. She actually loves being in the van, and I guess it makes those big trips to B&Q just a little bit nicer, right? So we've concluded that this van is super premium. It's very quick, it's got a beautiful interior with Alcantara leather, and it's all round just a beautiful place to be. But all of that does come at a price. This fully electric e-Transit Custom starts at £60,000. There's many other optional extras which can take this van to £70,000+. Combine that with the fact of what this van actually offers. For me, it is a home away from home. It's a storage shed for materials. It helps me move those materials from one place to another, which speeds my jobs up. It's also an office. I can sit here and edit and do my audio without the rumble of a diesel engine getting in the way. As a DIYer, this probably doesn't fit my budget, I'll be honest. But as a content creator, that's a different story. So to conclude this video, we've actually got to answer the question, are these vans worth the money? What is the value of these vans? And honestly, I've been given this van to drive around, so it's very difficult for me to say if it's worth the money. But I can tell you it's the best van I've ever been in. It's an absolute pleasure to drive, and I would definitely love to keep this van long term. But to really answer the question, we've got to go a bit deeper, and that's why I've come to Hertfordshire Showground at Super Trowel, where there's lots of other MSRTs here, because MSRT are hosting a small little event here, but also MSRT owners who have actually bought their vans and use them on a daily basis and have been doing for a long period of time. So let's talk to them and find out where they see the value is. I'm here with Simon Bowler, and Simon Bowler's been driving one of these MSRTs as well. It's the purple one behind us. You've got experience as well before of driving these vans. Where do you see the value?
So for me, they bridge the gap between tradespeople who have a requirement for quite a luxury vehicle, because that's what they want, but also a requirement for a trades vehicle, because that's what they need. So they have a two vehicle problem, but they have to solve it with one vehicle. That's where it sits. I
love that. I feel like that is exactly what my van does. So I'm obviously on the tools some of the time, but as a content creator, I find I'm going to meetings and events and things like that, and you've got to look and appear a certain way in those circumstances. The van does both. Totally get that. Thanks, Simon.
You're very welcome. Enjoy the MSRT, I know I am.
This is the second van, another beautiful colour MSRT, and I'm here with
Martin from Novus Workspace Solutions.
And what do you do on the daily? What's your main job?
Most of our stuff is commercial refurbishment, interior work, but we can do things from dry lining through to suspended ceilings, glazed partitioning, kitchen fitting, carpentry, basically you name it. It's like an all you could want fit out package.
Well, I've seen some of your stuff on Instagram. It looks ace, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
But one of the things that a lot of people find interesting about the MSRT owners is that, do you find yourself on the tools a lot, or do you have
I'm on the tools 90% of the time.
90% of
Yeah.
the time. So this is still a van that's super functional.
It's used purposely for work, yeah, and it's exactly what I want. It gives the right impression that you care about your van, you care about your job, you care about the service that you provide.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's a lovely thing to be driving around in on a daily basis.
It's that really nice feeling, isn't it? Being proud of your business as well as what you're driving.
Absolutely.
So you see the value specifically in the fact that it represents your business in the way that you feel it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's top of the range, and I like to think that the work that we do is top of the range as well. So we turn up, and people are automatically going to go, "Oh, that's a smart van," and I think it then gives the customer the impression, if you care about how you turn up and what you turn up in, then your work should follow on with that principle.
Totally, couldn't agree with that more. That's a really good insight into what these vans do for a business. It isn't just, a lot of people just use sign writing, but this is one step higher than that, I believe. It really does show that you're a premium company.
Absolutely, yeah.
Creating premium results. Thanks for that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, so now we're actually next to a pink van, and this is a very special pink van.
Yes.
Can you introduce yourself and whose the van is and what it stands for?
So I'm Brad, I work for Shmi on 50, and this is basically we call it Pinky, and it's our one of one, because there is only one of them of this generation in this colour, which was Telemagenta, which they had 7 on the previous one. We made our old one slightly famous, and then this one came along and they were like, what colour would you like? And we were like, well, ideally pink. So we have pink stitching in the interior as well, which none of them have. Obviously the pink on the outside, none of them have. Carbon bonnet, which we've had painted to colour match in pink as well.
We'll definitely put that on screen just so people can see it. So the thing is about you saying that this is a one of one.
Yes.
You know, I spoke to someone just a minute ago, and he said that it's all about representing your brand.
Yes.
And having that pink is the brand for Shmi, right?
Pretty much. I mean, it's a case of, we have a collection of supercars and everything is bright. Tim loves stupidly bright colours. So having something to sit along as our workhorse, you know, we've got the back seats to take the team around in. We've obviously got a bit of luggage space in the back where we can put wheels, tyres, to not get, you know, the nicer cars dirty. But having something that stands out and fits alongside a bunch of supercars, a normal van doesn't really cut it. So you get something that looks as good, as sporty, as aggressive as this in a stupidly bright colour, and it just fits the whole theme.
So you would almost go along to say that you need this van to fit in with what you offer as a brand.
Absolutely. I think because of everything we're doing is just fast, it's about speed, it's about power, it's about enjoyment of, you know, silly vehicles that are kind of unnecessary in a way. You need the most unnecessary thing in the world, which is obviously a bright pink van. But it just is so good.
I mean, I know it's so good because I drive one. It's one of those things that you just, once you've experienced it, you don't ever really want to go back.
There's such a big difference as well from the previous generation of how they drive. This just drives like a big car.
Right.
It's comfortable. You can do some silly long, you know, we've had this one all around Europe already.
Nice.
And you just sit in and you relax.
Well, that's so relaxing. I've driven 2.5 hours to get here this morning. I didn't really want to get out.
No, you could almost fall asleep.
Well, you wouldn't want to do that.
No, exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, exactly. It's so relaxing, and also it's eye-catching. For me, as a content creator, it's great for my brand. You know, I turn up, especially when I'm dealing with brands and businesses, I turn up in this van and they think, oh, he's not just some young lad doing DIY on a house.
No, it's a professional looking bit of kit that does everything you need a van to do. It's still a van at the end of the day, you know, it's not meant to be just a showpiece. It's meant to be a workhorse.
Totally.
But it does that while still looking good and delivering everything that you could need.
So for you, it's not only worth the money, it's just an essential for the business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that.
Cool. Very well.
Appreciate it. So there we have 3 different MSRT owners talking about what the value is to them of owning one of these beautiful vans. They didn't really talk too much about how comfortable it is inside and how nice it is. They really talked about how it represented them as a person and as a brand, a company that will turn up and do a good job and be remembered for doing a good job. And that is, for some brands, like with the car channel and Shmi and my content creation business, something that's pretty valuable to be able to turn up somewhere and for them to look at you and think, they're the real deal. They're not just some, like myself, some young DIYer just trying his luck. This actually adds an element of professionalism, and that seems to be the reoccurring theme through anyone I speak to who owns an MSRT. They want to be known as the professional and to be someone that's trusted. So if you're looking to spend £65,000, this fully electric MSRT van is a no-brainer for some, but questionable for others. It's down to you to decide what is valuable to you. Thanks for watching this video. It's been a pleasure using this van for the last 6 months. Hopefully they let me keep it for a little bit longer, but if not, I'll be very sad to see it go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you've enjoyed this or found it useful, make sure you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.